Welcome back, Beaver fans, to the hottest new show on the campus of BVU, 3 Big Things. Today we are covering the 3 biggest sporting events that went down during the homecoming weekend. Let's start off this episode with some volleyball action, where the Beavers had a tough challenge ahead of them in Nebraska Wesleyan. Coming into this contest, the Beavers were sitting at a 2-6 record on the season, whereas NWU were at a comfortable 6-2 record. Both teams had a tough time knocking each other out, but in the first set, the Prairie Wolves got the advantage and barely won 25-23. Realizing what just happened, the Beavers put on the gas and won the next 2 sets, 25-16 and 25-22. In this game, senior Summer Goss nabbed a career-high 38 digs, for 4th time recording 30 digs in a game. Sydney McLaurin had the high for the Beavers in kills, getting 19 in this game, behind teammates Katie Circuits and Hannah Smith, who had 15 and 12 respectively. But just as quick as BVU began to put the game away, Nebraska Wesleyan had some more gas in the tank and won the 4th set 25-19. This brought us to a decisive 5th set, which came as close as you can get. The Beavers were close to tying the set up, getting as close as 13-11 at one point, but NWU had other plans, putting an end to the game, winning the 5th set 15-12 and winning the game 3-2 over the Beavers. Next, we move on to one of the main events of homecoming, football, where the undefeated Beavers were matched up against the also undefeated Prairie Wolves of Nebraska Wesleyan. The Cinderella story for BVU started off like any fairy tale. The fortunate Beavers got off to a hot 16-0 run in the first half, with scores from Braylon Minicucci, Adrian Griffin, and a field goal by Morris Aranda. Adrian Griffin in this game would go on to record 112 yards rushing and a nice touchdown to boot. Eric Pacheco would also play a role in BVU's air game, nabbing 83 yards receiving. But, like all good fairy tales, the bad guy swoops in from the darkness to ruin everything. With 15 seconds left in the first half, the Prairie Wolves rose from their grave and scored a touchdown, leaving us with a 16-7 game to think about at halftime. After the homecoming festivities of halftime, we headed to the second half, where it was anything but pretty. The third quarter consisted of a lone 32-yard touchdown by Nebraska Wesleyan to make it a close game at 16-14. The Prairie Wolves wasted no more time in the fourth quarter. The first touchdown came with only 42 seconds off the clock to give the Prairie Wolves their first lead of the game at 22-16. Then, with a snap of their fingers, Nebraska Wesleyan wiped out the Beavers with 2 more touchdowns, not to mention 2 two-point attempts that were successfully completed. The Beavers' homecoming dreams would come to an end, losing 37-16, their 3rd year in a row losing a homecoming game. And finally, we must give a big shout out to the BVU men's soccer team. Even though we don't have any footage from the game, the men's team was able to snap their 3-game losing streak by decimating Crown College 2-0. It was the perfect ending to a rather interesting homecoming night at BVU. While the first half ended in a scoreless tie, Jose Martinez put on his cape and mask and found the back of the net with a few minutes off the clock in the second half. Determined to keep the lead in their hands, Noah Becker scored the insurance goal in the 72nd minute to give the Beavers the eventual win 2-0. In the second half alone, the Beavers threw up plenty of miracle shots, shooting 8 of their 11 shots in the second half alone, whereas Manuel Aguilar was hot against the net, getting 5 saves in the shutout victory. The men's soccer team improved to 1-3-3 on the season, and as of this recording, now have a 1-5-3 record. And that was 3 big things from the past homecoming weekend. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook pages so you don't miss out on the next episode of 3 Big Things. My name is Tyler Bruner. Go Beavers.